Red? I'm consistently ending at 2.
I got a square at one point.
Cha cha cha.
You're just getting PS.
Yes. No way that goes any better than it just did.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
Put a
Welcome.
picture back on the wall real quick.
Lagging hard here.
Welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron Campaign world. I'm Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm confused. And Colin.
And I'm Casey.
Well, are you the only one not allowed to say your name, RA? If anybody else does it, it's just all stops.
I was doing a bit, and you just weren't paying attention.
Anyway, so welcome to another episode. On our previous episode, the party dealt with the ominous blackmail, essentially, that Tommel offered to Ari. Ari brought the news of Tommel's threat back to the group, and they discussed what they could do to both get themselves out from under the danger of the Stormhammers, and more importantly to them, to get the Rubble Warren gang out from under that danger. Various options were discussed, including whether or not to bring some backup from one or another of the gangs, such as the Swords of Karn, or possibly trying to make a deal with Denel's Pride, a rival gang to the Stormhammers. But ultimately, the party decided that they were over a barrel and that they had no real option other than to play ball, at least at first. So, spent the rest of the night and much of the next day making some preparations. Esri made some poison. Ari went and gave a warning to the Bright Dooms and arranged for them to stay at the Sword and Sheath. And for Carl to bring a member of the Swords to hang out near the bar in case someone came to the bar looking for them. Shade went and let the Moonspears know, speaking with Soleil Moonspear. And Esri, Esri made some poisons. I said that. And Pog sat in his room and cleaned his weapons and prepared himself for the encounter.
And then went to watch over the Bright Dooms.
And then went to Shade's perch to watch over the Bright Dooms. And then back to the Sword and Sheath initially. So, that's where we are, and we're going to pick up the following day. But before we do that, you guys got level 4. And so I want to hear, in brief, what everyone did with their new level. So, Eric, what did Ari get this level?
Ari took a little bit of a dip into Sorcerer. Went with first level Sorcerer instead of 4th level Warlock. Got a whole slew of new spells, but the only real choice that's worth going into is he went with the Aberrant Mind bloodline, the Sorcerer origin. Which makes sense. Psionics is the whole thing with that. So, yeah, he got a bunch of new spells that we're not going to go piece by piece. You'll figure it out.
Hooray. Casey, how about Shade?
Shade just went with ability score improvement, increased her dexterity and her wisdom.
All right. RA?
I took a custom feat tool expertise, so I now have expertise with the Poisoner's Kit, so I get to add double my proficiency bonus, and then I also got to add on the Alchemist Supplies proficiency and a little bit of wisdom.
All right. And Colin?
Pog was confused. Well, or Colin as Pog was confused. So we went with a feat. Don't know what exactly is happening around Pog, but it's left him shadow touched. And so we will now have invisibility as well as being able to cast inflict wounds.
Pog entered his emo phase.
For sure. For sure. Started with the brooding.
The hair is now forward and down across one side of his face.
Yeah, we are the Black
Just
Parade.
stays locked in his room all day.
Screaming infidelities.
Wake me up when September ends, you guys.
Wow. All right. Cool. That was good. You
We're
may
just
also
going to spend
notice,
the whole rest of the show speaking in emo song titles.
boy, you could go a long way with that. I bet. That would be an interesting challenge, but I think you could go. I think just based on my experience, I believe you and Eric could go quite a long way
Next
before you
week's
ran
stream
out.
challenge. There we go, Eric.
Every title from here on out of episodes is going to be an emo song.
Oh man, that's how you know when Tommel's in an episode. Is the title is an emo song. And you may also notice, speaking of songs, that we have music now. This is something we're trying out, and we will see how it works. Hopefully, it will work nicely and will improve the stream. I have always liked using music in my home games, and so I wanted to find a way to bring that to this. So hopefully you enjoy it and it's not distracting. But more importantly, hopefully you, the players, enjoy it and it's not distracting.
Yeah.
Because that's really what the point is.
What did you say? I can't hear you over the music.
Okay, well, we'll just...
Hey, just be glad it's not Ari playing.
Wow.
I expect some dashboard
such
professional
harshness.
during battles.
+6 performance. Like, Pog just has bad taste. Like, that's
No winning
what
here.
Ari has accepted. Like,
No winning here.
Ari takes
mean,
it
that-
as a compliment when Pog insults him.
he's heard the
Ooh,
music
he
that
doesn't
Pog
like
listens
it.
to. He's like, oh, thank God he doesn't like me. Maybe if I whined more in my music, he would be into it, but...
Wow. All right. So...
I gotta stop
It
smiling. I'm Pog
is-
now.
It is the next day. We are picking
good.
up. It is the day of your appointment with Tommel. We set the appointment for the middle of the afternoon. I think we declared an arbitrary hour, but it's probably not very important.
2, and we had planned
Probably.
on meeting here at 1:30.
That sounds right.
But Pog was going to get here at noon, was what Colin said. I don't know why that's the part of the episode I remember was everybody's arrival times, but
Punctuality is important in core of our culture.
when it
somehow.
comes to when you're meeting somebody who's blackmailing you, punctuality is just top of mind. So
Yes, we are picking up with you all returning to the house, having made what preparations you chose to make. So that's where we pick up. Pick up outside the house. Everybody gathering.
yeah, I mean, Ari would have stayed the night in the treehouse and probably not gone out to do any work. So he would just be reading his book. Would be what he's doing while awaiting everyone else.
All right.
After seeing that the Bright Dooms were taken care of and in for the night, Pog would have slept at the treehouse as well.
All right.
Jade obviously slept at the treehouse. That's
Sure.
where she sleeps. But she would have, I think, checked on the Rubble Worn gang. But I think we had said that they still weren't there.
Yeah.
But is Pog still? I mean, sideswept by banging it.
Yeah, we're very serious. Yep.
Okay. If we are heading over, Shade would attempt to start a conversation. But I don't want
Feel
to
free.
jump the gun if other people are trying to do things before that.
I think we are picking up with you guys meeting to head over there, so
Yeah.
perfectly reasonable time to to do that.
Pog, you okay? You seem upset.
I'm not upset. This is a bad idea. This can only end bad. And we'll do it. We'll be okay.
Will you be okay?
I hope so. But this is, this is them deciding we have to fight, right? We're going to fight with nobody with us this time.
You're a really good fighter. I think
so
it's
is
better
Tommel.
that we have each other.
So is
to watch our
everybody
backs.
with Tommel. There's no way I can do all of it.
Well, not by yourself.
But this is not something that 4 of us can do, because it won't be Tommel by himself, or just Tommel and a couple friends. That's a lot of them. We're in trouble here.
I don't want to fight.
We're
Was this
going to.
conversation in common hearing?
I assume this is while we were walking over together.
Yeah.
We're going to.
They have a job
So-
for us.
They had a job with the Vadalis, and they were going to kill her. We're going to fight. If we don't have to fight today, we will have to fight.
And that's just kind of our existence, isn't it?
Maybe, but if we're willing to do things, then why are we still doing them by ourselves, is all I'm saying. We could have asked for help. We should have gotten help. I don't like the plan, but I'm with you. Let's try to talk about it tomorrow. If tomorrow.
No, we will talk about it tomorrow.
Pog pats Shade on the shoulder. Sounds good.
All right.
Ezri is uncharacteristically silent. The whole way.
Has he been the whole time, or is it particularly through this conversation?
Today.
Okay.
As you are on your way over, making your way through the cross toward the shop where Art and Tommel had their conversation, you are intercepted. 2 young persons come running up, and you see Kadric and Bajak come running up. And Kadric says, "Hey! Ilya said you guys are in trouble because of us."
Not
Not because of you.
not because of you.
Right, but you're in trouble.
We're not in trouble. There's people that want something from us, and they threatened to put you in trouble if we didn't do what they wanted. So that's why we told Ilya and Donabella, and we tried to tell you two, but you all might want to take a hiatus from questing for a couple weeks.
Bajak sort of squares up. I mean, if we're part of the reason you're in trouble, you gotta let us help.
They don't want
No.
anything from you, Bajak. This isn't something that you can help with, unfortunately. I would love to have your all's help. And the next time that we can use your help, be the first people I call. But they want us specifically. It's somebody that we have history with. And they would actually probably be upset if we brought extra people with us. So in this particular instance, you all coming might actually escalate things and make it worse.
But we could come secretly, says Captain.
But if they spot you,
Make a... I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, make a persuasion check, see if you can get them off of this.
I am going to push that roll because that's a natural 2.
Starting out good.
Pushing on the way to this encounter.
Can I push more than once on a roll?
Man.
Sure.
I rolled a 3.
Man.
Like
Oh,
Someone
let you
didn't
endanger
warm up to
yourself
die.
for more rerolls.
Ari convinces some kids to go away and then faints.
yeah. 19.
Okay.
Casual.
And you're at half health.
If they spot you, if anything goes wrong, one little thing goes wrong, it all blows up. It's not they're gonna grab you and like take you in and threaten. Like they will start firing spells, swinging swords, and we'll be caught off guard because we won't know that they've spotted you. I appreciate you wanting to help. I really do. And like I said, next time we can quest together, I'm so down for that. I'm pumped for it. But this particular situation isn't a quest. It's not fun. It's not adventuring. Some bad people want something from us, and they've threatened to hurt you if we don't do it. This is why you should wear masks. This is why we should wear masks.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Be careful.
We will. We'll come fill you in on what happened tomorrow, okay?
All right.
No, make yourselves hard to find for a couple of weeks. We shouldn't be able to find you.
I am a very good tracker.
Shit'll. Bajak, aren't you grounded?
This was more important than that.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Fine.
Yeah.
And they both turn and make their way off.
They are very careless, and they are going to get themselves hurt. They just volunteer to go to dangerous things?
Now everyone
Yeah,
wants
who would do that?
anonymity and safety.
They're kids. They just don't know. They don't understand the situation. All right.
Pog turns and continues walking.
All right. You all make your way on, and after a few more minutes, you approach the shop. Outside the shop, you can.
As soon as we get in the realm, Esri is gonna start looking around hard to see if there's anything, if there's anything trying to be hidden from us.
Sure. Give me a persuasion check. Perception.
Talk the things.
Perception is the
You
perception.
ask the building, are you booby trapped?
Are you booby trapped? Come on. Are you booby
Watching too much.
That was
Watching too much into the last critical roll.
even virtually rolling that die was Heartstopper. 24 total. But it was
24.
very close to a natural one.
As you are walking along the streets, looking, at the rooftops and down the alleys, there is an alley that you walk past where, when you look down it, what catches your eye isn't actually what you see. What catches your eye is that it's too dark. There's just an area of blackness down that alley that you cannot see through at all.
This is an alley, so this is like a passing thing, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'll just. Can I do this into multiple people? Actually, haven't tried or don't recall. Am I able to? Any creature you can see. It doesn't look like it. So individually, I'll go for each of us and just mentally say, "There's something hiding down the alley we just passed. I couldn't see it. It was unnaturally dark." Say that to Ari, then Shade, then Paul.
We can respond.
When you say
right?
it to Pog, he turns and looks straight down. Full turn.
Well, we're past it. That's what I was clarifying.
Turns back to look at the alley.
You see the entrance of an alley, but you've gone past it, so.
We can respond,
Yes.
right? So Shade would have responded, should we put fire in it? Make it light? There?
No, not. Just let's maybe. Just be aware. I don't know.
Because we
We
could
don't
see.
need to start any fires yet.
Just keep an eye on the door after we're in.
Can that please be how you give Pog instructions in combat going forward? Put fire in it.
It's very effective.
Sword in it.
I love it.
Oh, wow. That's outstanding.
Jade, put lightning in it.
Exactly.
Okay. Soon you come within sight of the store. Outside the shop, there are 3 Stormhammers posted. 2 lounging on one side of the door, the other on the other side. And as you approach, they seeing you stand up, look more alert. They're armed. They have on simple, studded leather armor in Stormhammer style.
Spiked leather
And
armor.
yeah, spiked leather, yeah. One of them walks over and just thumps on the door. And it is opened by another Stormhammer who nods at you all and steps aside, holding the door open for you.
I mean, Ari, that's why we're here. Ari walks in.
Pog right after.
Shade
All
walks
right.
in, but she's glaring. She's giving looks.
Esri will
Oh,
go
I mean-
last.
Ari despises the Stormhammers, so yeah, Ari is giving an air of die in a fire that Shade's created. or Pog.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm not judgy about which fire these people should have. Any fire will do, really.
Wow.
Actually, right before Ezri walks in, we never established if he got new gloves. I don't think, but he will reach down and just roll his sleeves up to the elbows and walk in.
All right. Okay. Inside, there are 3 more Stormhammers ranged about the room, and there is Tommel sitting on the shop's counter. He's just sitting up on it and seeing you all come in. Good afternoon.
Hey, Tommel. So, what do you need?
And the door is closed behind you all.
Was that 3 more of them, including the one that opened the door? So 4 inside
Yes.
total? Okay.
Yeah, Tommel and 3 other Stormhammers inside total.
Okay.
Tommel sitting on the counter looks you all over. This was a good choice. I sent Ari to get you all. I wasn't entirely sure you would come, or that you would come on my terms, so this was a good call.
You asked Ari to come get us. What do you want?
Well, you all caused me to lose a shortcut to where I'm trying to get. You made me look bad in front of Mirren, and you've made my life substantially more difficult. So, what I want is to set that right, to set that square. I'm not interested in us being enemies in the long term. We shouldn't be enemies. Should all be on the same side here. And maybe I haven't done a good job of getting you to see that. But I'm trying to go about this in the best way that I can think of that doesn't end up with you all dead, which is really what option 1 was for Mirren when all this happened. So,
Is he telling the truth when he says that he doesn't want us to end up dead?
give me an insight check.
I'll push it.
All right.
Eric's reaction was exactly correct for that roll. He's saying words.
It was a natural 2, so it was bad. Dirty 20.
Okay. Watching Tommel, you see this inky, fluidish shadow sort of flicker across from bottom to top one of his eyes. But he seems to be honest when he says he does not want to see you all killed.
It might be more convincing if you don't threaten small children.
Even
just wanna remind you-
surprisingly take issue with that.
I tried really hard to get you to take the kids and leave.
I know. We weren't going to let you murder that Vadalus heir. That was an error on our part, apparently.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now,
That's what I'm saying. That's the enemy. That's the enemy. That's what I'm saying. Now,
And it's important to know your enemy.
yes. Now, since you lost my shortcut, I'm going to have to get there the long way, and I'm going to need a map. So you're going to get it for me.
question real quick, Philip. With Ari's interactions with them, what percentage of the Stormhammers are aberrant marked? Is Tommel unique in that he is an aberrant marked Stormhammer, or
It is difficult to tell, actually, because you have seen every Stormhammer you have encountered. It's possible that Ari thinks so, but because every Stormhammer you have encountered has exhibited some sort of strange abilities.
right?
But Tommel is the only one, and Cal are the only two you know about that are marked.
Okay.
So. Now the good news there is you don't even have to leave town. I know where the map is. Well, I have a pretty good idea where the shortcut is, but I'm not sure. But I have a pretty good idea, but I know where the map is. And you're going to get it for me. At Forgotten... What?
My Xbox had opinions.
Oh, sorry. The owner of Forgotten Places, which, you can decide whether you've seen. This is a shop in the marketplace. It sells antique maps, not specifically for adventuring, more for like hanging on your wall, and it's mostly very old maps of places, usually of places in Zendrick, but also there's also some kind of kitschy ones, like you can buy a celebrity homes map for Sharn, and a dubiously accurate map of the floor of the Thunder Sea, and things like that. But it's largely antique, old, hang on your wall sorts of maps.
You said Forgotten Places?
Forgotten Places is the name of the shop. Yes.
Like Sharn.
Is that in the Stormreach book, Philip?
Forgotten Places is a location in the Stormreach book. Yes.
Okay. I swore that I was familiar with that, and I was making sure you hadn't mentioned it before, or if that was just my weird brain remembering random things.
Forgotten Places is in the Stormreach marketplace. The owner wants more than I want to spend on it, so I want you to steal it for me.
How much do they want?
They want 500 gold pieces.
I know where we could get 500 gold pieces.
For a map?
Well, see, he doesn't know what he's got. What he's got is actually worth quite a lot more than that to the right person. But he doesn't know what he's got. He thinks it's cool because it's written on Dragonhide. And that's what he's got the price marked up for. So, I need you to do it soon because, some rich guy is going to come along and think that's really cool and drop some money on it.
I mean, okay. Anybody else got any other questions?
What's the map of?
It's a map that explains how to get somewhere in the Skyfall Peninsula, which is the spit of land that Storm reaches on.
It's a map that explains how to get somewhere and where things are.
Is that the title of the map?
Astute Tommel. Astute. What peninsula? Sorry.
The Skyfall Peninsula, which is the piece of land that Storm reaches on. The Wayfinders call the place the Obsidian City, and that's what most touristy guides talk about. The Kulsir called it Hakeb Kalnek. But that's
Bless
not
you.
really important. There's only one Dragonhide map in the shop, so it should be pretty easy to figure out.
All right. I guess we'll have to see what we can do.
We get this map,
This-
and that's it.
Get this map and bring it back to me.
And that's it. You forget about these kids entirely.
Well, I'm not a forgetful person. I'm not gonna forget about the kids. But this'll be enough to satisfy my boss. And she might forget about you.
Your boss is Mirren. And is she like us?
Oh. She's not really like anyone.
So that's a no, then. See, I'm just confused because you claim to be on a certain side of something that we should be on. And so far as I can tell, it's you, a bunch of other people, working against 4 of your people. If you're something else now, that's fine. But
When
then stop
we've-
pulling the "we're the same" card.
What we're trying to do, I don't know what you all are trying to do. If you just want to get by, that's fine. I don't know what you're trying to do. That's your concern. But what we're trying to do is going to benefit you. It's going to benefit all of our people. It's going to make the world safer for us. And I'm not even really asking you to get on board. I'm just asking you to get out of my way. You don't have to be on board. It will still save you. But I can't have you in my way.
Save us from what?
Do you wonder why it was 75 years into a catastrophic war before it occurred to the dragon-marked houses that they could weaponize us?
Why don't you enlighten
Not
us?
previously, no.
Ever since the last time the dragon-marked houses stomped down on our people, there hardly been any of us. And those of us that were marked, we could do little tricks, do little bits of nothing. We were few and far between, and a lot of us could just go unnoticed. But there's starting to be more of us now. And we're getting stronger. And the last time that happened, the houses worked together, united. The houses that unite over nothing. United in the decision to kill all of us. And they bloody well near succeeded. So how long this keeps happening? How long before they decide to do it again? And how many new ways will they find to track and kill us?
Probably happen a whole lot quicker if their people are getting murdered by us. Seems like that would be an escalation for them. Point to the need for it, in fact. Don't you think?
There's no version of this where they agree to live and let live. They already showed that. Live and let live requires both sides. Only one side agrees to live and let live, that side loses.
Question, Philip.
Yep.
What would we know, or if there's anything in the book that I've been reading, but I'm not sure if there is, about the War of the Mark? Like, specifically, do we know that aberrant marked people literally caused the city of Sharn to collapse in on itself?
Make a history check.
We'll find out what you know.
22.
Ooh.
I am a scholar on this subject.
I did it for
was
fun.
an elective at school.
7. I don't read books.
I know a 1. Tell me things.
I'm marked? What?
So, all of you know.
What's an aberrant mark again? I don't understand.
All of you know that a very long time ago, the houses banded together to destroy aberrant marked individuals, to purge Khyber primarily of aberrant marked individuals, and that they presented this to the nations of Khyber as necessary for everyone's safety. And they pointed to incredibly powerful aberrant marked individuals who could do just insanely powerful things. Probably all of you know some of the names. One woman known as the Lady of Plagues, who had an innate connection to and control over disease and vermin, and who discovered her mark because she woke up one morning and her entire village was dead of a disease that she had accidentally woken up during the night. Of a guy called Hallis Tarkanan, who was called the Earth Shaker, whose powers were tectonic in nature, and others with names like Dreambreaker and things like that. They have all these sort of mythic sounding names, and you've probably all heard of these figures. The context in which you would have heard of them in the Black Wheel program would be as of cautionary tales of what can happen to the untrained when their power gets too great. Ari, you know that Hallis Tarkanan's real impact on the War of the Mark was that he was a tactical genius, and that he managed to turn the aberrants into an army so that they could actually resist being eradicated. but that eventually his army was trapped in Sharn and were being systematically eradicated. And finally, in a last desperate act, the heads of the army unleashed their powers together and just destroyed the dragon-marked army, as well as themselves, and as well as the city of Sharn, in a grand, cataclysmic last gasp of resistance. And that Esri would probably know that the city of Sharn was destroyed in the War of the Mark, because the very lower levels of Sharn are mostly the ruins of that war.
Okay. Then to Tommel's statement, Ari would respond and say, that, Tommel, that was a long time ago. And also, those marked people were not heroes. They destroyed Sharn. They brought the towers down and brought disease and devastation with them. They drove people mad for fun because they could. That escalation, those actions lead to eradication, to devastation.
They were under siege. They were being hunted through the streets by the dragon-marked houses. You think the dragon-marked houses putting that city under siege were concerned about the lives of the people in there? Do you think the dragon-marked houses were concerned about the lives of the children of those dragon-marked?
I don't know if they were, Tommel, but I know Hallis Tarkanan wasn't concerned about it.
It was war.
And that makes everything okay. That makes everything fine when it's war.
It makes some things
Innocent
necessary.
people get devastated, get killed. Children left holding their parents' bodies on the roadside. All's fair in war.
All right.
I get it.
Amen. This isn't.
You can see, by the
get
way,
it.
all of you can see that as Tommel gets worked up, the blackness grows in his eyes, and actually seems like it's almost like shadow is sort of steaming off of him as he gets more and more tense.
Philip, he said that he's not a forgetful person and he won't forget about the children, and then said, but this might, that his boss might forget about us.
You. Yeah.
I understand the nuance of, or the the detail that I'm asking here. Could I possibly, well, do I infer from that? Does Esri infer from that she doesn't know about the kids?
Give me another insight check.
$24.
Yeah, you get the impression from all the things that he's said that Tommel is trying to work out an option for resolving this other than throwing your bodies in the river, which might be what he was instructed to do.
Okay.
All right.
It's definitely true that Tommel sees himself as going out a limb on your behalf.
Ari looks over his shoulder at you all. I'm done here. Are we good?
We have the job. How long?
A week?
Said a week.
No, it's going to need to be quicker than that. Day after tomorrow.
All right.
Map.
Meet back here, same time, day after tomorrow.
That sounds fine.
Okay.
Should really do
You
something
see-
about all this. It's rather drab.
Let's go.
Pog's the
All right.
last one out.
Ari turns to leave.
No one bars your way.
Heading back, presumably.
Ari-
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, towards the treehouse away from here before we convene, I think would be that's where the direction Ari heads walking out.
Do we pass the alley? Is my question.
Oh.
So if we're going back to the treehouse, I suppose it would be the same way.
Sure, you would go the same way.
I'd like to check back in on the alley to see if it's still as it was before.
No, there is nothing. It looks normal now.
Okay.
Now you can set it on fire.
I mean, there are houses abutting either side of it.
no.
So.
Yeah.
Now there's less reason.
Right.
Once we get a block and a half, 2 blocks away, Ari would stop and turn to you all.
And before he says anything, Ezra will say into his mind, "We can do this quietly."
I have a detour I want to make. Ari says out loud, but in acknowledgement of Ezri's statement. I want to go to the Wayfinders. I want to hit up Hallis and ask about this Obsidian City business. See if they know anything. I figure more information is better. And he seems to lack us.
I'm going to go to Forgotten Places and look at it.
That, but Pog, is that? I suppose we shouldn't both go. Well, were you going to go in?
I don't know.
'Cause I thought I might go in and have a look.
Do
No
you want
reason
to
not to look.
go scope out the place? And Shade, do you want to come with me to talk to Hallis?
Sure.
I mean, we do have a timetable, so I figure everything at once is probably a better way to go.
All right.
Unless somebody objects to that and we want to do everything together, we can. But
No, we don't need to be seen all together. Too
All
much.
Okay. All right. So splitting up and heading towards the marketplace. In the case of Pog and Esri. And let's,
I will, at some point well before the marketplace, just kind of tap Pog in like a
Yes.
solid way, as like I'm just, and then walk away and take a different route.
Pog
So
will
that
carry
we
on.
don't- Yeah, so that we don't come at it from the same direction.
Okay, bye. And keep going.
as far as the Wayfinders Guild, well, let's do. Okay, so you two are both going to try and, you just want to look
Inquire
around. You want to look at it. You're going to case the joint, essentially.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
The joint and the owner, personally.
Okay.
you know, Dragonhide won't burn up in a fire. So if we just set the whole place on fire, then
I'm really glad you're not with us for that idea.
I'm glad our two most stand out members have gone to this.
Sorry, you think that Esri stands out more than Shade?
You do have green skin, like
You
which
do,
is
and you like to
unique.
dress for attention.
Yes, but I am not half an animal.
And you have your sleeves rolled up, displaying your aberrant mark in the street. So
That's
Oh,
true.
that's
Yeah.
that's not.
That's true.
Still, that was specifically for going in and talking.
Okay.
Hands firmly in pockets.
I feel like we have to keep this filler conversation going here for Philip.
No, you're good. I was trying to decide where the Wayfinders guild house should be.
oh, is it not on the map? That's weird.
It is not. I thought that it was, but it is, oddly enough, not.
Right next to Forgotten Places. Who would have thunk it?
It's definitely not. It's definitely not there.
Every day he shows up and goes, "Found it." Walks in.
Oof. Oof. That was. Oof. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So you are just taking different paths in case of being followed, right?
Not seen
what-
arriving
Yes,
at the
sorry.
same time.
Right.
Our black parade is following different routes.
Hate to see it.
So the two of you head over to the marketplace, and it's busy. I mean, it's middle of the afternoon, so it's crowded. You've got all the things going on here, dominated by the Falconer's Tower, which is a blue stone tower built and maintained by House Lyrandar, and which is their house enclave and also serves as the town's airship dock, and the bazaar, which you've obviously seen before. Coming in from the direction you've been coming, you probably also walk pretty much within the shadow of the Lorsmark Palace, which is the actual, essentially it's City Hall. It's where the Storm Lords have their offices, though not typically their residences. So there is a lot going on here. Forgotten Places is in this map is turned sideways, right? Yeah. It's in the southeast corner of the marketplace. Not terribly far off from the parts that you are often there. It is right next to Von Ruthik's, which is a curiosities and antiquities shop run by a well-known gnome antiquarian. But next to that, you see Forgotten Places. The sign hanging out front looks like a treasure map with a little dotted line leading to a big elaborate X, and Forgotten Places painted in red on the outside.
Is it
Yeah, another
one story,
esoteric
two story?
question. Sorry.
It's a single story.
What time of day are we at? This is afternoon.
It is-
right.
Yeah, it's probably 4:30 ish, so towards the end of the afternoon.
What is traffic at the bazaar like this time of day?
Pretty heavy. There's a lot of business going on. There's a lot of people starting to get off from their day shifts around this time. People starting to get out and run errands. So yeah, it is fairly busy.
Are there like alleys here or dank places between stalls or?
I mean, it's
somewhere I could go
always capable. It's always fairly easy to find some sort of cover in Stormreach, just due to the nature of the town being built all over ruins, and there's ropes and everything strung everywhere to help people get up and down staircases that are too large. Like it's a chaotic town, so it's not hard to find a place to duck into a corner, pretty much anywhere.
All right, then I'd like to do that and spend 10 minutes ritually casting Detect Magic.
Okay. You can do that.
Is the door to Forgotten Places open, or do I need to open it to go in?
The door is open at the moment.
Okay. Pog's gonna walk in.
Okay. You walk into a very nice interior. There are, carpets across wood-paneled floors or wood-beam floors. There are some nice chandeliers hanging from the roof. The walls are lined with bookshelves that kind of look like a honeycomb, with various things rolled up and tucked into the various niches, as well as quite a lot of maps in frames or in glass cases. And as you step in, there is a light bing in the air, and you hear some bustling, and a door opens, and a male half elf with cleanly cut brown hair steps out and gives you what you can decide whether Pog recognizes as an appraising look, and then puts on a smile. Says, "Welcome to Forgotten Places. How may I help you?"
Hi. I've never been in here. I was just looking
I do not
around.
remember seeing you. Is there something I can particularly help you find?
Maps.
All around you, my friend. A map of something in particular, a particular place you would like to go in your mind, something you would like to hang on the wall.
Go in your mind.
Something on the more affordable end, perhaps?
Ooh.
I am pretty
woman
poor.
Him. Pretty woman
I am.
in Pog. Do you work on commission? Big mistake. Huge.
Big mistake. I don't know. I thought it was kind of silly that there would be a whole store that just sells maps.
Well,
Are there a lot of map people in Stormreach?
well, there are lots of kinds of people who enjoy collecting maps. There are adventurers who seek a safer path from place to place. There are lots of sailors who are interested in sea charts for travel. And then there are also just collectors who enjoy having a map hanging on their wall to imagine the places that might take them.
That's so now you adventuring, you have to have a map. The forests and going places, and on the
Indeed.
waters, you gotta have a map because all the little pieces of land you need to know where to go around. But why would you have a map just on your wall, just to look at?
For the same reason you might hang a piece of art or a painted landscape.
No, because art is really pretty, and a map
my
is just a
friend.
map.
Do you not see any maps here that are not
Well,
beautiful?
these are. They're maps. I don't know. If I were a rich fancy man, I don't know that these maps are gonna make anybody go, "Oh, you're a rich fancy man." I don't think they're very special.
Then
Is my 10 minutes
perhaps
up?
you should. Yes. Yeah. Then perhaps you should go elsewhere.
Probably.
I'm gonna
Probably.
change before I go in my armor to be the fancier version, the fancier shirt version.
Here comes a rich fancy man.
Your finest map, Captain.
And sort of like hyperventilate a little bit myself, and then walk in and say, do either of you have the time? Someone outside said it was 9 in the afternoon, and that doesn't sound right.
I do not believe 9 is a time in the afternoon.
That's
what is
what
9?
I thought.
He takes out a pocket watch. It is.
Ezri hits him in the back of the head with a stick.
It is 15 till 5.
Oh, I am running so late. Maps. You sell maps, yes? Yes. You
I
yes.
do
Isn't that
sell
silly?
maps, yes.
That's the only thing he sells is just the maps.
Do you have a map of the city? I'm so lost.
Of Stormreach. Yes, I do carry maps of Stormreach.
Great. Whatever you have, please.
He walks over. You are just looking for something general purpose to find your way around.
No, to hang on his
as-
wall
as-
for sure.
What? No.
I'm sorry,
I
you're
don't-
doing something.
as
your-
accurate as
you shall.
possible, please.
Do you have business here?
I don't sell maps. I have no business. I'm just
Then-
looking.
Then perhaps if you are not interested in the wares that you see here, perhaps it would be best if you went elsewhere.
You have another map
there-
store?
Is there
I
something
do
that looks
not.
particularly impressive on the wall, like the Lego Star Destroyer? You know, they never sell, but they have one fully made.
That's so
There
real.
is hanging on one of the walls in a glass frame. There is an elaborate astronomical chart. Astrological would be plausible in this setting. Astronomical chart that plots the rotations of all 12 of the moons around Eberron.
So while he's going at Pog, I'll say, like, yes, just whatever's most accurate would be. My stars, that's gorgeous.
And I think it turned. Yes, isn't it so? Yes, one of our finest pieces.
Did you make this?
Alas, no. I bought it in an auction in Sharn last year.
You have incredible taste.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm sure how much is it? How much?
For that,
do you say something
well,
for?
I
And while he's talking, I will speak to Pog. This is called, in his mind, this is a distraction. Do what you need to do.
Pog is going to turn to the side and see can I see any important Dragonhide maps, or is there a way through the door that he came out of?
Give me a perception check.
And as they're walking through the streets, Shade sees Ari stop dead in his tracks and go, "Oh no!" Sense a great
I actually am
disturbance.
interested in the answer to the
Yeah,
cost
I'm
question.
gonna
Just
push that.
curious.
Okay. I hardly
Push
think
until
I
you get a
could.
natural 20. Just
I
keep
hardly
pushing.
think I could let it go for less
Pushing one
than
more time.
350.
I got an
Gallifars.
18.
Okay.
That seems completely reasonable to me. I don't. Goodness, I
Pog.
don't know if I can.
You see, looking around the store, you see that over by there's a counter like we would expect in a shop here, and there's a ledger book on top, and the counter has a glass display case built into it, and you can see partially spread out on one of the shelves of the of the case. It's very carefully presented, so it's sort of half unrolled, but both edges have been allowed to curl around. You see a beautifully drawn map of the Skyfall Peninsula, done in vibrant color. And where the edges are curled over, you can see that there are a deep blood red scales still attached on the back. To your other question, yes, there is a way back to the back room.
Should have taken that keen mind feat, Pog. Just could have looked at the map and then come back.
Is the display case visibly locked on the backside?
You can see that the display. You can see that it has a sliding door on the back, but you cannot, from the front, see the locking mechanism.
Probably
if
gonna
there's one.
lean against the glass and just with his fingers gauge to see if it moves at all.
Oh, so you sort of lean on the counter,
Just
and
like
feel
a
on the
casual
back.
one-armed, like at the comic book shop, except right where your hand goes right above the paper that says "Do not lean on glass," and then put your hand on the glass, and then just like with the pads of his fingers, just slide and see if there's any give on the sliding behind it.
It gives a little and then stops. So it sort of wiggles slightly.
Is there an turn to look at the
Pog,
door?
make a
Is there?
stealth check?
Man, I was trying to get out of this before you said that.
Advantage because I'm distracting.
Yes, advantage because he is distracted. Now call that helping.
Oh, dang.
Well, I rolled a natural 20, so it's a 22.
Outstanding. So he seems to be just caught up in this conversation with Ezri. I know it's
after talking to the simpleton that walked into the shop.
right, yeah. It's always difficult to. I tell you, you say you are not sure that you could right now, and I tell you honestly, it is something of a relief. It's a difficult piece to imagine taking down off of my wall. Some days I think I should not have it for sale at all.
Does the light hit it here at any time of day? Because I can just imagine.
With this 20, can I lean over and see the locking mechanism?
Yeah. Yeah, you lean over, you can see that there is a bolt latch that prevents the door from sliding.
And that's
With
all it
that
is,
20
no key or anything?
Can he steal it without opening the box at all?
With
It does
that
look
20,
like you
can
would-
I add it to my inventory?
It does look like you would need a key.
Just walk out with the whole case under his arm. Good day, sir.
I mean,
nothing.
he's now capable of turning invisible, so
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying.
What is the meta on invisible? Is it everything you're holding? or-
Everything you're touching. Yeah, whatever's on your person.
everything
And you
on
can
your
carry.
person. Yeah.
Or that you can
Pick
carry.
up a map.
It says that you are
Right.
carrying.
Yeah, everything you are carrying.
So if you pick something up, it becomes invisible. But you are not silent, which I think is where Pog would get into trouble.
That's my big issue.
Well,
Yes.
And this is
that
built
is the
into
only
the-
issue
this is-
here.
Pug is strong, but he's not the Hulk. He cannot tear the whole counter off the ground and walk out with it.
I feel like that's just a lack of imagination on your part, Philip.
Right.
Looking at the door, is there an hours of operation sign? Do we know how late he is here?
It says that he closes at 8.
Okay.
What time does he open?
He opens at 11.
A lazy dude. Man, amazing hours of operation. No wonder this business is struggling. Those are not peak map needing hours.
Early in the morning, late at night. Those are when people need their maps.
That's when you get lost. All right. Well, do you guys, I guess, enjoy your silly map time?
Yes. Thank you. feel free not to return.
You're rude.
He gets so much more French when he's snarky.
No, you are rude, good sir.
It is only a waffle thin mint.
Do not be our guest. You did not sound like that at all, Philip. I was just being...
I know.
I have two main questions.
Okay.
I mean, given this conversation that I'm having with him, obviously he's a salesman. Make allowance for that. Does he seem like an honest person? Like, does he actually like this map, or am I interested in it and so he's just trying to get money out of me?
Give me an insight check.
I feel like that's just being good.
Natural
salesman.
one.
That's dishonest.
I shall push
Nice.
once. Natural 4. No, natural 11.
Oh.
The perspective is way off on that. 16 total.
It occurs to you that you don't go into the collectible map business if you don't have a thing for maps. So he does like maps, and he likes this map. He might not like this map quite as much as he's making out. Certainly the some days I think about not selling it strikes you as salesmanship as opposed to...
This might have been
Real.
his dad's business that he was pressured into taking over due to familial obligations, you know. Like he is
I mean, I'm
father's
not-
passion.
I'm
My
not
real
obviously an
passion
expert
is
here,
songs.
but I guess. I mean, this isn't some cheap reprint that he's trying to scam people on. It's,
Make an investigation check.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. It's gonna not my thing, but maybe 16.
Yeah, that's pretty good. No, I mean, looking at it, it appears legitimate.
Okay.
He's, now that Pog is out of the way, he's, inviting you close to it so you can see the gilded ink that the Ring of Sybaris is done in, and the silver lines that are used to chart the paths of the moons and the various details of each of the moons. That's
Are there windows
displayed.
into this business?
There are a couple windows on the front, but otherwise no.
No,
Okay.
he means, are there ways to get into selling maps? Other, like,
I just want a foot in the door. It's all. I just need that one starter map.
Right.
There's not one last map sale. I'm getting out of this for
news.
good. I'm out of this racket.
Okay, I was really hoping you were gonna say he was like a really dishonest dude.
A terrible person that you wouldn't feel bad robbing.
Yeah. Okay, so the other question is, I've got detect magic
Yep.
happening here, and
Yeah.
the point is looking for things that might look like alarm spells or traps.
There is an alarm spell across the front door. There is another across the door into the back room.
Okay.
And you can see that there is some kind of magic on the glass display case. You can also see that there are actually several of the maps that give off a magical aura, including the one that you are tasked to steal. But also,
is Dragonhide
there
inherently
is
magical?
not necessarily, no.
No. Okay.
One of them is just rolled up and tucked in one of the beehive shelves, and not behind any particular special measure.
Eric, are you taking notes? You got this?
Yes.
You got that one written down? Okay, great. No reason.
Anything else
Okay.
you want to...
So no, that was what I was looking for, and I will suddenly. My appointment. I'm sorry. It's wonderful. I can't buy it today. I will absolutely keep you in mind. Do you have a Do you have a town map? I really have to get going.
Yes, of course. And he walks over to a shelf and pulls out just a simple folded map of the city.
Good luck refolding that thing.
One silver piece.
I will pay that without haggling.
Highway robbery for knowing where highways are.
That's terrible.
Thank you
That's
so much.
terrible.
And I just
Best of
sort
luck.
of fast walk out. I actually want the map.
Okay. All right, and I believe that is where we will wrap this episode up, and we'll pick up with the Wayfounders Foundation in our next episode. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you would like to get in touch with us, you can leave comments below, as well as find links to all of our socials where we are the Geek Pantheon. You can also find a link to our Discord in the description below. You can see more of Eric on Twitch at twitch.tv/thegeekpantheon, where he streams still Sunday mornings and Monday and Tuesday evenings. And you can see Colin on Twitch whenever life and work allow him at twitch.tv/sorrybtr. The O is a 0. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next time. Until then, this has been Khyber Shards. I'm Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
I'm RA.
And I'm Casey.
Thanks for rolling with us.